Hello there. Welcome to this video on setting up Arduino Uno for test. This is exciting. In this video, we're going to see what is the famous Arduino Uno. We're going to hand walk through and also we're going to set up the Arduino IDE. Alright. Arduino Uno is one of the most sought after development board when you want to get started with electronics, IoT and coding. This is a microcontroller based development board. It has an Atmega 328P chip on it, and it has a wonderful, easy to use IDE called the Arduino IDE, and it works seamlessly with it. Now, this board can be used to learn the fundamentals of electronics, the fundamentals of IoT. You can play with sensors, you can start learning coding, and all of that. Now, when you're ready to get connected to the internet, you would need an external Ethernet or a Wi-Fi shield. Arduino also has other IoT based products which you can use directly to connect to the internet, like Arduino Une. It also has Ethernet and Wi-Fi shields. For a complete list of products, go to www.arduino.cc. You're currently actually looking at a Arduino Uno R3 board. Alright. Now the first thing is how to connect to your computer, to program and to rewrite your software and so on. That would be using your USB right about here. This port is also used for powering your device. You also have another way to power your device, which is using your 9 volt or 12 volt DC supply using a wall adapter. Alright, now let's take a look at some of the components here. The first thing I would like to highlight is your Atmel chip here, which is your Atmega 328P. You also have another chip about here which is also Atmel, and that does the job of converting your USB from your computer to serial to the chip. Alright. Also, there are a set of active and passive components. For example, you have your capacitors here, you have your resistors here, you have voltage regulators, and so on. So if you see, the resistors are really small and some of the capacitors also are really small. So these are all the SMD components. Now you also have a reset button here. We will talk about this a little bit later. Now coming to the actual pins, you have your 14 digital pins starting here 0 to 13 about here. That makes it 14. Then you have your ground pin here. You also have a reference pin here. More about these later. On your left hand side, you have your analog pins. So analog pins go from 0 to 5, and on top you see we have V-in, ground, 5 volt, 3.3 volts reset. So you can use your 3.3 volts and 5 volts to supply external LEDs or any other device you like to power. Now this is the landing page for Arduino. Now you can do a lot of things. You can buy Arduinos, you can learn about them, and so on. Now what we need to do is we need to download the IDE software and we need to install it. So the first thing is we're going to do is we're going to download the software. So you go to software, you come down and find the download build here. Download the Arduino. You got different OSs. Now yours is going to be Windows. So go ahead and click on the Windows. That's it. If you want to contribute, very good. You're going to be downloading when you say just download, and you can save it. Alright, it's done for me. It took almost about the same time as it suggested. Now I'm going to run it. Alright, it's going to say read your license, so go ahead and read it and say agree. And you want to install all these drivers, say next. This is the path, say okay. And now it's going to go through a process. It doesn't take much time, so I'll keep you updated. It's been about a total of 2 minutes. There you go, it's almost done. Arduino USB driver, yes. Install it, yeah. So say yes to everything because we need all these drivers. Alright, so there you go, it's done. Looks like it's completed. Not much of an issue here, no errors as such. Close it. That's it. Now let's go and find out if it's working. So I'm gonna go to my desktop. Let's go to my desktop. There you go. So you see your Arduino icon. So go ahead and click on it. And this is your Arduino IDE. Of course, you can make it large. And there you go. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of this. The first thing is that this is the entry point and this is where you write your code. In Arduino IDE, all the code you write, all the programs you make are called as sketches. So you might want to get used to that lingo. It's called a sketch. All right. So you have a couple of tabs here, very basic. So you have a file, so you can create a new sketch. So whatever sketches you create are going to be a part of Sketchbook. And to make it easy for you, they also give you examples. So these examples are very important for us because they help you to get started. And also there's a reference for different things you want to do. Now if you come to Sketch, you're going to have a functionality called include library. So this is where you can include libraries for different pieces of code, or if you want to talk to a specific component, so the component manufacturer would give you a library so that you can communicate with that component. And similarly, if there's a platform or a service and they want you to communicate with them in a certain way, then they're going to give you the libraries to communicate with them. And also it makes the developer's job much easy. You can also manage your libraries from here. All right. Now, once you write your code, it's a two-step process. One is you're going to verify, and then you're going to upload this sketch into your Arduino board. Let's see how to connect your Arduino with a USB, and it's going to install a driver, and then we will run a small test code or a sketch. All right, now I'm going to connect the USB cord to my Arduino and to my computer. Okay, now we see that the software is trying to be installed. So there you see, and you also see here, so we can say okay, perfect. So now the software is installed. Now very good. Now let's go and open up your IDE. There you go. Now if you notice your board, there are two LEDs currently glowing. One is a green LED and another one is the orange LED. The green LED is basically your status LED, which is on the board. It tells you the board is on and it's getting supply. And the orange LED is actually connected to pin 13, and a default program is switching on and switching off the LED almost every second. Now let's go ahead and test the board. What we're going to do is we're going to reduce this delay from 1 second to half a second, and we're going to compile the sketch and we're going to upload the sketch. So this will test if your sketch is working and if your connectivity to the board is working and if the board is working. All right, let's get started. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an example. So I'm going to go to File, I'm going to say Examples, and I'm going to open my basic Blink example. All right, let's open this up. There you go. Now here you see that by default it says pin 13. So this is what we want to manipulate. Now if it doesn't say pin 13, go ahead and punch in pin 13 because the LED is connected to pin 13 and that is what we want to control. All right, a quick walkthrough of this code is first is we are initializing the pin number 13 to output because we're going to give an output to the pin which is high or low. When you give high, it's going to turn on. When you give low, it's going to turn off. In the main program, in the loop program, what we're going to say is we're going to write high to pin 13 and we're going to delay for half a second. So I'm going to make it 500 millisecond, and then we're going to write a low. So it's going to switch off the LED and then wait another half a second. All right, very simple. Let's go ahead and compile this. So you're going to go and say the verify. So this is basically going to compile it, and it's going to quickly say in a minute if everything is okay. So done compiling. Now if you want to learn more about the compiling, you can go to File, you can go to Preferences, and the show verbose output, you can also tick mark compilation. So what's going to do is it's going to show you all the entries, or in other words all the logs which it's punching out. Now I'll go and show you one more time how it looks like when I say compile. So it's going to show you all the files it's using, and all the process. All right, very good. Now let's go ahead and upload this. Now I'm going to say upload. Now it shows you all the verbos, and it's uploading, and very good, wonderful. Now you see that the LED is glowing much faster. So that's because the delay is changed to half a second. All right, congratulations. That's a great accomplishment. You have set up the Arduino IDE, you've connected your Arduino board. You also successfully tested your Arduino board. Way to go. In the next video, we're going to light a couple of LEDs outside the Arduino board. Thank you.